Hello!
Ahoy!
Welcome to the Botscars Live 2023.
I'm so excited.
Me too. I'm really excited. This is quite scary though.
Where's your moustache?
It's on my face.
Okay. I mean, you've forgotten to shave every other bit.
Is it not a moustache if you've also got a beard with it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on the definition.
What are we doing, Nick?
We are here to do the 4th annual Botscar award ceremony.
We are indeed.
Our first ever live broadcast.
Yeah, we're actually on cameras. People can see us.
I know. I've never seen the streamboat look so ship-shaped.
Looks sexy, doesn't it?
Although a bit backwards.
It's backwards for us. For some reason, it's forwards for everybody else. So it's fine.
That's fine.
It's fine. As long as they've got it the right way around, that's all that matters.
I might, hopefully we don't start speaking backwards. It's great. I like what you've done with the place.
Thank you.
So we have got 12 categories.
12 awards.
And a couple of Hall of Fame.
2 Hall of Fame Captain's Gallery inductions.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
Right, shall we get on with our first award of the evening?
Sure, let's get going. And the first award, I'll do the first award. The first award is the best performance by a non-human. Look at that. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
You know, if they'd have done this at the Oscars, you wouldn't have had that whole problem with the wrong thing in the wrong envelope. Just do it on PowerPoint.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, so this is the future. The best performance by a non-human. The nominees are the CGI animals in Endangered Species. I barely remember that film, apart from the animals, so it's a good start. The Invisible Dead Kid Ghosts in Body Cam.
Yep.
The Anxiety Monsters in The Cleanse. The Prison Truck in Below Zero, and a fuck ton of fake cocaine pretending to be real cocaine in a futile and stupid gesture.
I like it.
I think they are all very worthy nominees.
Me too. Shall we just discuss them in order?
It's fine, yeah. You tell me, you argue for who you think's going to be.
Do you want me to pick one now? Do you want me to tell you which I think should win?
I've got a favourite I'm going to argue for.
Okay.
We can go from them in order if you want to.
Okay, go for it.
CGI Animals in Endangered Species. That was a really unmemorable film. Apart from when that kid got attacked by that leopard. Just out of nowhere.
True.
And remember how bad the rhinos were?
The rhinos were terrible.
Like, it was like my child had drawn a rhino.
It was. I think your child could draw a better rhino than that. It was terrible. Invisible Dead Kid Ghosts. Can something that's invisible win an award?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
They were visible right at the end when they were like released, weren't they?
Yeah, kids. True. You did see them at the
remember
end.
Body Cam?
Yeah.
Do you remember Body Cam?
No.
You liked it.
I do remember it. It's the one where that guy went flying off into the air right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember.
Mary J. Blige.
I remember all of these great films that we did.
The Anxiety Monsters in The Cleanse. That was like those little fat slug things.
Cute little fat slugs.
That like came out of Leonard from The Big Bang Theory.
I've been described as a cute little fat slug before.
Yeah, well, yeah, not just tonight, in fact. The Prison Truck in Below Zero was just a cool truck.
Just a cool truck.
You could go to prison in, but then it sank, and then it wasn't as cool.
Yeah.
And then just loads of cocaine.
What do you think the fake cocaine was?
I don't know.
I think it was actual cocaine. Because it was a movie set.
What do they... Yeah. You know in The Simpsons where they have to like paint horses to look like cows? So
yeah.
What do they do for cocaine?
Paint flour to look like cocaine. Which one do you reckon?
I think for me, it's tough to beat the CGI animals.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not what I was going to go for.
Just because I liked how shit they were.
They were shit. Like,
they were properly the highlight of that really boring film, from what I remember.
Terrible movie.
Yeah.
I was going to pick the Anxiety Monsters from The Cleanse.
Okay.
Just because they were cute.
Yeah.
And adorable.
Until the end.
Until the end when they weren't, when they merged
They murdered that guy, didn't they, who lived
things.
in the camp.
Yeah.
I think that is a movie we possibly underrated slightly.
Do you reckon The Cleanse?
Well, I think you underrated it.
True. I think I might
have. So, with that in mind, I'm probably quite happy to give it to those guys.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay, first award of the night.
Yeah, Anxiety Monsters in The Cleanse.
Anxiety Monsters in The Cleanse. Congratulations to Leonard Hofstadter and the creepy, cute things. Cool. Good award.
Done.
Ready for the next one?
Sure, go for it.
The nominations for most memorable moment
Okay.
are Pool Table Man Rape Threat from The Trip.
Yes.
Little Robot Man gets tossed off a spaceship from Robot Overlords. Ankle breaking dance from You Are Not My Mother. Chain fighting and massive spiky balls from Double World. And Antoine is shot dead in The Decline.
Oh, there's a proper mix here.
Yeah, there really is.
Memorable because it was an actual good moment in a decent film.
Yeah.
Memorable because how often do you see massive spiky balls and people fighting amongst chains in medieval China? And
hardly ever.
And memorable because a little boy got tossed off a spaceship.
I'd completely forgotten about that till I read this nomination. I was like, that's brilliant. I'd completely forgotten that happened. That little creepy robot thing.
Yeah, he was
weird.
like half. Was he a child or was he a midget? I don't think we ever really got to the bottom of that.
I think he was just like a child robot.
Yeah, he was like ChatGPT had done a midget. In fact, Robot Overlords could very well have been written by ChatGPT.
Very true. Very true. Pool Table Man Rape Threat. That was more disturbing than memorable.
But it was memorable. Like, it was properly tense.
Yeah,
when I thought...
I genuinely thought they were going to do it.
Yeah.
Luckily, they did.
Yeah, that was a crazy film, and that was a really tense moment.
Yeah.
And it was properly good acting.
Yes, it really was. He looked absolutely terrified.
From everyone involved.
He looked like they were actually going to do it to him.
Well, and before his wife stepped in, because she wanted it to happen as well. The Trip was a...
She tried to persuade them to do it.
Yes.
The Trip was a trip, man.
Yeah, 100%. I've
got a favourite.
Yeah, I think I have as well.
Go on.
And I think, for me, actually, it's from the movie that won the Season 8 Stream Table.
Same.
And it's when Antoine gets shot in The Decline, because he was the lead character.
Absolutely. I think this is a shoe-in on this one.
And I think we said at the time in the episode, we don't get surprised by that sort of... We don't get sold that sort of dummy very often.
Even in like
movies.
mainstream films, people are not brave enough to kill off their main character.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason that we put that film at the top of the stream, and it stayed there for the rest of the season. That scene is the moment that won the stream table in season 8.
Well, you think you're following that guy. Well, you are following that guy for an hour.
Yeah.
And then
they off him,
half an hour, you realise your lead character's actually someone else.
Yeah.
For me, it's that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is for me as well.
Okay.
I think that's one of the easiest ones to pick of the night, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Easy.
Antoine is shot dead in The Decline. Wonder what the audience are thinking of that. Right, move on to the next one. Fools. We've just been called fools, Nick. That's harsh. These are our awards. Leave us alone.
Do people want more tossing off of small...
People wanted more midget tossing.
Okay, fine. Whatever. The next category of the evening is something that is, a very good tradition for us on this show.
Yeah.
Because we see a lot of death.
We do.
And we like to try and decide which one is the best every time the Botscars roll around. So best death is the next category.
It is indeed.
And I think we've got some really good ones to choose from here. So best death nominations are knife through neck skin in Headshot. Francois explodes in The Decline. Falling out of a pentagram in Pentagram. Bed knob in a sock / old person vomit in Old People. Drowning in the world's smallest Tupperware in Theatre of Fear.
What a moment that was.
AKA The Midnight Horror Show. And if you haven't seen that, I mean, don't go and watch the film. It's awful. But it is worth checking out the 10 seconds where a man drowns in an empty ice cream tub.
Yes, basically,
and
it's exactly
that is
right.
no exaggeration.
That is not an exaggeration. I'd love to know how that happened.
Those goons in that movie were hardcore, man.
They were indeed. One of those goons started following us on Twitter this week.
Yeah, he did.
I was really happy with that.
That's not an insult. He played like Goon 2 in the movie.
Yeah, he did. Gunther, I think his name was.
No, they were called like Thrasher and Cleaner or something.
This week, though, like he didn't follow us the week we did that film. He followed us like now.
That's because
I assume
Word
he's just
is-
been listening ever since.
Word is out about the Botscars.
Yeah.
And he thought, hang on, I might be in
I
for a
might be in
nomination.
for an award.
here. I did that drowning.
Oh, we think he did. If he did, we'll give him an award. If he wins it, we might give him this award.
We can
Can
virtually
actually have
present
the
it on
first
Twitter.
one.
Okay, best death.
Talk through him.
Knife through neck skin. You remember in Headshot, there was a lot of death, a
Yeah.
lot of gore,
There was.
but there was not a lot of instantaneous death. There was a lot of, we'll just do something gruesome and then wait for that character to bleed out.
Yeah.
Like, when the guy just went and sat on the beach to die because he'd been kicked really hard in the head
Some of it was really disturbed. That guy almost like had a stroke and then went and died. It was
Yeah.
horrible.
to watch the sunset
Yeah.
as his last act. It was very, it was a bit of a downer.
Yeah, it
but
really was.
In the one we picked was where the fight in the holding cell in the police station,
Yes.
where Eco Oasis is still handcuffed to the table, and yes, this knife wielding assassin comes in, and he ends a knife through his face.
Yeah. Not
But
through like the normal bit of your face.
No, so it doesn't go through his chin, top of his head. It's
Yeah.
like through his neck skin,
Yeah.
and you actually see it sort of just under the surface, and the guy starts bleeding out.
Yeah, it was
That's
horrible.
vicious.
I mean, that film, they could have won all the nominations.
We could have filled.
We could have
this
filled
category
this category with just that one film.
from Headshot. That is true.
I think my camera's stopped. I don't know why.
Well, you can have a look at that. I'll carry on talking.
Okay. I'm just gonna flick it over to
The second nomination, Francois Explodes. That was when that guy just he was carrying pipe bombs back to the barracks,
Yeah.
and boom, out of nowhere. And that was a very surprising death, but I kind of think it's cancelled out by most memorable moment being from the same film.
Yeah, it really was.
So I think I'm not backing that one. I don't think in this
No?
occasion.
You're not happy for that one?
Next nomination, Falling Out of a Pen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried to think how could I sexy that title up, but literally those dudes just fell out of that pentagram, and that was it.
It's nice that Pentagram's been nominated tonight. I don't know what's wrong with my camera. Bear with me 1 second.
No problem.
Feel like I'm back. Yay.
Looks good to me. Where did I
Apologies
get
for that,
to?
everybody. Where did we get to?
Yeah, Falling Out of a Pentagram. It was just comical how they
It
fell
was.
out of a pentagram and then were devoured by a demon, which was clearly, well, we thought it was library footage, but it turned out it wasn't.
Turns out it wasn't, and it was just they didn't have time to film anything, so they didn't.
What about when that woman got destroyed by that bed knob in a sock by that old dude?
Yeah.
And then he vomited all over her.
In old people.
Yeah.
That was quite memorable, and it was a very good death.
It was pretty disgusting. And then, yeah, the smallest Tupperware drowning. I mean, I've got two options here.
Personally, I think it's between those last two.
So do I.
I think,
It depends if you want to go with the comedy approach,
yeah, or the
the actual horrifying
actual
death.
gruesome bed knob in a sock, which was horrendous.
Yeah,
And that old man was just rank.
yeah. And then when he just sicked up on her.
But
It's just the cherry on top.
if somebody says to me, "Do you remember Theatre of Fear?" I always go, "Yeah, it was that one where that guy drowned in that Tupperware box." Whereas I don't think with old people, I'd be like, "Yeah, it's a really good film about old zombies." So I think Theatre of Fear's winning it for me.
Oh, this could be our first disagreement.
Okay.
I think it's tough to beat that.
It is tough to beat that old
That
man
was-
in the sock.
That was
Old man in
wild.
a sock? Wasn't an old man in a sock.
That's you.
Rude. Okay, so we need to debate. So we're definitely discounting the other three,
I think so.
although they are all great deaths.
Yeah. This is tough competition.
How do we decide?
You could agree with me. I mean-
Okay, let's just do that.
Okay.
That makes things easy, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
No, I think
Yeah,
it's best death.
yeah, it
It's
is.
not most memorable.
And that was a shit.
It's
death.
not funny.
Drowning in a Tupperware is not a good death, is it? You're not going to be in heaven admitting to that. Not that those guys were going to heaven.
I just think what you do. That's what you do when you compare.
Yeah, it's like going
death
to prison
stories.
and like what you're
What
in
you're in
prison
it
for.
for.
Yeah, you make up a better story.
Maybe. I was like devoured by 18 tigers.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bed knob in a sock with an old person.
Bed knob in a
vomited.
sock.
Bed knob in a sock. Excellent.
We've got a new category next.
We have got a new category next, which is exciting. We've never done this one before. This next category is the Man Overboard Award. The character that we would like to see get in the sea.
Yeah.
And the nominations are Sam in Comes a Bright Day, Jack in Endangered Species, Josh in The Ledge, Giorgio in Rose Island, or Martin in Another Round?
Do you want to give a little overview in case people can't remember who the hell these people are? Because
I can't remember who the hell these people are.
I can help you out.
So
It's
Sam
fine.
in Comes a Bright Day was the young lad who went into Timothy Spall's jewellers and got held up.
Yes.
Yeah. Jack.
He was really annoying. He was like the hotel concierge.
Yeah, he was.
Trying to be some sort of...
Gangster guy.
Yeah.
Jack in Endangered Species was the dad of that family.
Correct.
He was a bit of a wet lettuce and
Yes.
a bit evil, a bit nasty.
Yeah.
Josh in The Ledge was the main bad guy in The Ledge.
He was just toxic, that
He
guy.
was a horrible guy. Giorgio in Rose Island, that's the main guy in Rose Island.
Yeah, he was just annoying.
He was just
We
annoying
found him
in a
annoying,
pretty
didn't
annoying
we?
film, yeah. And Martin in Another Round, who was the Mads Mikkelsen's character. I just bit my tongue when I said that. Mads Mikkelsen's character in the main character in that film, basically.
Yeah, that Oscar-nominated film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About those drunk teachers.
Yeah.
Which was garbage. Hot garbage.
Was it a bad film?
Yep.
I mean, I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was boring.
Yeah.
Was
a
it
terrible
bad, though? Was it
Yeah, I think it was.
objectively,
Genuinely,
was it a bad
I think
film?
it was a bad film.
I mean, it didn't do well in the stream table.
It didn't do well in the stream table. Because it's a bad film. Sam, this was Sam's wildcard. There's another round.
Yeah.
And Sam's watching right now, and he's put, I'm not listening to this again. So, yes, you are.
I
You're doing
don't.
it right now.
I don't know if it was a bad film.
I think it was
I
a bad
didn't
film.
enjoy it.
I think it was a bad film.
Okay.
Personally, I didn't enjoy it, but I also think it was a bad film.
I'm not sure I liked what it said about drinking. But Martin's not my pick.
No, I don't think he's
Sam
mine
might be
either.
glad to hear.
Yeah.
For me, I hated this guy, I didn't like this movie, and this was the reason why. And honestly, almost found it unwatchable because of him. And it was Josh in The Ledge.
100%.
He was just such a caricature, toxic, evil
He
man. He hated women. He hated gays. He hated blacks.
Yeah, he was just a toxic, horrible, unnecessary character. He was bad for the sake of being bad.
OTT evil.
Yeah. Just to the point where it made the film really like horrible and nasty.
And like
And it shouldn't have been. It
with
should have
all
been
his
quite
friends,
fun.
you're like, why are you hanging around this guy?
Yeah, why would they hang around with this guy in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that one is obvious to me. That's got to be Josh.
I mean, I'm not sure I'd throw any of them a life ring, but
Also true.
I think it's Josh in The Ledge is our winner.
Agreed. Another new award's coming next.
Yeah, and we're really going to get down to some brass tacks now.
Yeah, this is
because
where we argue.
This I don't know if we have to argue. I think
we've already done the arguing. This is where we do the resolutions.
we can state our case. This is the anti-gaslight award, and there's no nominations here. We both get to pick a movie which we felt was ranked too low in either the season 7 or season 8 stream table.
Yeah.
Because it was the other person's fault, basically.
Yeah.
One of us liked it, the other person didn't like it. So we get a chance to talk that movie up and say why it should have been in the top 3 of season 8. And
Yeah,
mine
so-
is to that.
Basically, I get accused of gaslighting Nick, which isn't true. And so I've given him the chance now to reverse that, to change that, to do what he wants with the stream tables.
There's a comment just dropped in the text chat that says, "Does this mean you're getting 2 picks?" So
Rude. Thank
Sorry.
you, Wayne.
can you turn my mic back on, please? Now I'm going to choose.
Are we going season 7 or season 8?
For me, I'm going season 8.
Me too.
Okay. Shall
You
I go first?
You go first.
I think some people who are regular listeners may already be aware. My pick is You Are Not My Mother, which I said at the time was in my top 3 movies of this season.
Yeah.
And you know what? In the final stream table, if I didn't have to put one together with you, it would still be in my top 3 movies of the season.
Okay.
And because it was just creepy, weird, it was full of good performances, and I thought it was genuinely a good horror film. And do you know what's even more surprising to me than us disagreeing and it being low?
What?
I'm most gobsmacked by the fact you didn't enjoy this movie. Because it feels like it should have ticked every box for you to like it.
I agree, and it didn't, and that's why I didn't like it.
But I still don't understand why.
Because I wouldn't say it didn't. It still came 11th. That's still pretty high up.
It is a travesty that is not in the top 10, considering The Giver is above it.
Okay, give me 5 minutes. I don't know. I just didn't think it was that good a horror movie. I just didn't. I just didn't like the way it was. I thought it was weird. Too weird. It's still a decent movie. It's just not for me. It's not the best horror movie we've seen.
I think it must have caught you on a bad day.
Maybe.
I refuse to admit you thought it was bad. I just...
Okay.
I don't... It doesn't seem right. I think you might have been replaced that day by someone else, or that episode.
Okay.
I thought it's top 3 movie this season.
So you really are going to knock out either The Decline, Old People, or Nature Reborn?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, it would be in the top 3. I'm not sure where I'd put it.
That's fine.
Well, I thought it was brilliant.
I think it's good. I wouldn't say it was brilliant, but that's fine. Do what you want. It's your award. Congratulations to You Are Not My Mother.
That is my nomination.
Just putting it out there, the stream table doesn't change. This is just us saying this is what we would change if we could. Mine, coincidentally, is one above You Are Not My Mother in the stream table, in this season's stream table. Because I'm disappointed that The Giver only came 10th. Okay. And I know I'm going to take some shit for it in the comments in a minute. Because I said at the time, I think The Giver is one of the best films we've ever seen. I think I might have said it is the best film I've seen. It was a ridiculous thing to say. I admit to that. Because it isn't the best film we've even seen this season. But it should be up there.
I'm surprised you've paused again. I'm surprised that...
Look how I've paused like a monkey.
I'm surprised that you would be that into the religious mumbo jumbo.
I didn't think it was religious mumbo jumbo though. I thought it was good. You can have good religious mumbo jumbo.
What did you like about The Giver?
I just thought it was a really well made piece of film. I actually quite enjoyed it. Camera's back, hopefully. Oh, all sorts of shit's going on the screen now.
It just makes me think when we watched Tramps this season and you called it, and I know I sometimes have a go at you for...
Tramps is a terrible.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But I know I sometimes have a go at you for like making sweeping statements. But
that was the sweepingest statement I've ever made on The Giver. I will admit.
When we did watch Tramps, you said this is one of the worst written movies we've ever seen, and I'm like, have you forgotten 20 movies that we've seen?
Tramps is one of the worst written.
The Giver was more plot holy than that.
No, it wasn't. That's not true. That's you gaslighting me now. That's not true. I've just noticed on the cameras that our microphone stands are lined up perfectly with each other, and it looks like a weird contraption that we've made, but it isn't.
Oh yeah, it does that.
I like The Giver. I'm not ashamed to say it. I think it should be top 5 this season.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you've lost it.
Top 5. It's better than Blasted. It might even be better than A Futile and Stupid Gesture. It's up there.
I have no words.
Good.
Samuel Holland in the chat says you are absolutely insane. And
says the guy who picked another round as his wild card. Forgive me if I don't trust his judgment.
Look, if you want me to, I'm not saying this to wind you up.
Okay.
I would have a real time choosing between The Giver and another round. If someone said to me, you've got to watch one of these again, I don't know that. I don't think I'm picking The Giver, honestly.
That's the most insane thing you've ever said. That just is.
I would have it so much further down.
Well, it's a good job we don't all agree on everything.
It doesn't make any sense. And
makes perfect sense. Anyway, we've talked about it for too long now. It's time to move on to the next category, I think.
That one will run and run. I can't wait to see what next season 9's version of those movies will be.
No, nor me. There'll be something that we disagree on heavily. Or 2 things, hopefully, because then we're going to do these awards again next season. All right, another new award next. We put all the new awards together. Coincidentally, we didn't mean to, but we have.
Sure.
This is the We've called it "You Are Our Favorite Character" because we couldn't think of a better name for it.
I think in drafts it was called something like "Release the Lifeboats" or something like that. But
basically, it's just
ran
the
out of
best
space.
character that we've seen over the 2 seasons.
Yeah, because we thought basically with these new awards, we've done a bit on obviously acting and technical stuff, but actually maybe we're not given enough props to writing and what's actually a good character.
Yes.
If we see any.
So the nominations for "You Are Our Favorite Character" are Netcher from Netcher Reborn, Doug Kenny from A Futile and Stupid Gesture, John Wood from Last Man Down, Sweeney Todd from Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, and Enzo from The Mansion.
Okay.
Should we talk through them?
Sure.
Oh, I've just turned the title screen back on. Apologies.
That's fine. You just really like
I'm
that
trying
slide.
to produce and host at the same time. We could have done with a director. We need like a
that's
producer
true.
in the room.
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk through them. Netcher from Netcher Reborn. Now we know how to. We got this character's name wrong all the way through this episode.
Did we?
But we've got it right now. Yeah, we called it Nezza, I think.
I can't remember.
Just been complimented on our t-shirts.
Have we?
Yes,
Oh, that's nice.
because we look hot. Even if I do say so myself.
Fine.
Netcher from Netcher Reborn was a great. That was the animated anime Japanese character.
It was Ross Cook's wild card
It was
pick
indeed
this season.
Yeah, he finished third this
Yeah.
season.
Netcher was a great character, and I think he's a strong contender in this category.
I agree. I would like to see more from this universe. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but it would be nice.
You
to
can
see
watch Green Snake is on Netflix.
Yes,
If you
so wish.
want to check that out. No, I think Netcher was a good character. Netcher really grew through the movie, and both literally and figuratively, like into a massive fire god. But that's fine. That's fine. I think he's a strong contender.
I agree. Doug Kenny from A Futile and Stupid Gesture, an actual person.
Yeah, well, a fictional
A fictionalized
representation of a
it's a
real
strange
person.
movie. It's like a fictionalized biopic.
Yeah,
Stuff did happen, but not necessarily in the order that the film portrayed it.
but I think it's what Doug Kenny would have wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really enjoyed A Futile and Stupid Gesture.
Me too. Really good film.
Like probably one of the nicest surprises of either of the last 2 seasons.
Really good little hidden gem.
Yeah.
John Wood, Last Man Down.
He was just that absolutely hench Norwegian woodsman.
Daniel Stuyson.
Yeah,
We couldn't think of his name on the way the other week, so I looked it up.
that's it. That's the chap who could play Arnie in an Arnie biopic.
Yeah. Sweeney Todd in The Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
I mean, yeah, that guy's been around, that character. So it must be pretty good.
Yeah.
That was like the first one on film.
It was, 1939, I think that film came out. That was my wildcard pick for last season.
Yes.
Yes. And then Enzo from The Mansion. Let's talk about Enzo.
Do you remember The Mansion? Enzo was the guy who turned up in his like sex bus, stepped on a mine, blew himself up, but didn't die, and then died while having an orgasm.
Yes.
In the bed in the mansion.
He was only in the film for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it was the best thing in it.
Made an impact.
Yeah.
Definitely made an impact.
Like came in, stole the show, died of sex.
Yeah.
And yeah, had that like passion wagon. That was an odd film, The Mansion.
Yeah, it is. It's a very strange little movie, The Mansion.
Yeah.
Really weird.
I think he was the highlight.
Agreed.
Any
one of them could win that.
Yeah.
It's a really tough category.
Where you leaning?
I think I'm leaning.
I've got a top 2.
Go on, give me your top.
It's between Netcher and Doug Kenny for me.
Oh, okay, that wasn't one of mine.
Okay, fine.
I was leaning towards Enzo.
Really?
Yeah, just because he made that film entertaining. My fucking camera's gone off again. This is really annoying me. I just thought he made that film really entertaining.
It was the highlight of that. Yeah,
but the film itself's not very good, so I can understand why you wouldn't.
Part of me kind of thinks
to win it.
Netcher has the best arc.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he's like Netcher's like the main character in the movie. The character, the film's named after him.
Oh yeah.
So, and Enzo's only in it for like 10 minutes, so swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Netcher's a great character. I wouldn't be against that. Who was your other choice?
Doug Kenny.
Great film. Netcher gets it for me over Doug Kenny, personally.
I'm cool with Netcher.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Award.
Our favourite character is not a human.
True.
That's fine. That's allowed.
Yeah. Nothing says it has to be a human. I wonder why it's always my camera that's breaking and not yours.
It's
Anyway,
it's what
who
the
cares?
people want. Okay, so
Move on to the next one.
the next movie is the next category even is one of my favourites, and that is the most batshit crazy movie. The nominations are The Trip, Ghosts of War, Prisoners of the Lost Universe, Theatre of Fear, aka The Midnight Horror Show, and Old People.
Indeed. All of these movies are batshit. How do we pick?
Yeah, I think they're crazy for slightly different reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, Ghosts of War, I don't think it is a particularly crazy movie,
No.
but it's the twist, isn't it?
The end is batshit.
Yes.
100%. Because nobody knew that's where that was going.
No, and that kind of we had different reactions to that, didn't we?
We certainly
You
did.
were like you went with it.
Yeah, I followed it. I was on board
I
with
was
it.
a bit. This is too stupid.
Took you by surprise slightly.
I was enjoying this movie until the twist. But that's fine. That's where we thought we were in a Second World War haunted mansion.
Yeah.
And turned out they were. It was basically that episode of Red Dwarf, wasn't it? It turned out that they were all in a Second World War artificial computer program, because really they'd all been injured in Afghanistan.
Yeah, badly injured in Afghanistan, and we're recovering.
They were all lying in a.
By reliving a war
computerised
about
hospital.
ghosts and haunted mansions and things.
Yeah.
It was very strange.
And then a ghost got in.
And
the
then that
machine.
guy turned up who nobody ever remembers his face.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane, that's the dude. Strange. Then The Trip. Let's talk The Trip for a second.
So The Trip was Samuel Holland's wild card from season 7.
Yeah.
It was Numi Rapace and I can't remember the guy.
No, mate.
Someone who she was married to, and they both, this husband and wife, they both went to on this weekend away with the plan to kill the other one.
Yes.
And loads of stuff goes wrong. Some criminals turn up who have escaped from prison. It's the aforementioned pool table rape scene.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. It's one of those movies where if someone gets shot, they go flying about 800 feet air. That guy shit his pants in the loft.
Oh, yeah, forgotten about him. He did. Camera's gone off again. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about him. He did, and then he fell through the ceiling.
Prisoners of the Lost Universe. That was your wildcard choice from season 7.
It really was, and if that's basically what the word batshit was invented for.
The sort of 1980s time travel movie
Yeah.
where they all went back. Well, no, it wasn't. Was it time travel? Parallel universe.
Yeah, they got sent into. They accidentally fell into a wormhole through a parallel universe.
Yeah.
And ended up in a universe that was definitely not parallel.
It was like a green man. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was all sorts of weird shit going on in that movie.
very cardboard scenery and things.
Yeah, it was
like
80s, wasn't it?
that. Theatre of Fear, which we've already talked about. The
Yeah.
travelling carnival freak show horror family.
Murder Family.
And old people, just zombie old people.
Zombie old people.
What are you leaning towards?
I think there's only one winner in this one, personally.
So do I, and I've got a feeling it's not the same one you're thinking.
It's Prisoners of the Lost Universe.
It's The Trip.
No. The Trip is at least sensible. Not sensible, but
I was going to say, I think The Trip takes the most, like, left turns.
yeah, but it's
when
not
you
as
don't
batshit
expect
as Prisoners of the Lost Universe. If we're talking full-on batshit movie, there isn't many more crazy than the Prisoners of the Lost Universe. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but I don't know if I would say that if I was watching it in 1982 or whatever it was.
Really?
Yeah.
There's like giants, there's swamp monsters, there's little green men that are actually blue. There's
See, that's only like watching Lord of the Rings. That's full of
you've
all
watched
that
a very
stuff.
different version of Lord of the Rings than what I have.
That's full of all that stuff.
But The Trip's just a couple getting attacked in Norway.
Yeah, but man shits in a loft.
A man does shit in a loft, that is true. But there's also a giant who lives in a swamp who rescues this old lady.
I forgot about that giant, actually, to be fair. He's not a giant. He's just a caveman. He's
It's
a
just
massive caveman.
caveman.
Yeah.
It's got to be Prisoners of the Lost Universe.
I mean, it was weird.
It's full on weird. It's just got to be. The Trip is a good movie. Well, not a good movie, but a batshit movie.
No, The Trip did well in our stream
Yeah,
table.
it did, yeah. And it's a decent movie, but it's not as batshit as Prisoners, surely.
I don't think there's much in it. I'm prepared to give you this one. I'll go with
I-
Prisoners of the Lost Universe.
Yeah, I think it's got to be, personally.
Okay.
Cool. We're halfway.
Good.
Turning to page 2 of our notes. Cameras are still going. We're all good. what sort of time are we on? Doing all right. We're doing all right for time. Next category is one of the big ones.
Yeah.
It's worst performance by a human.
You'd be proud to have this on your mantelpiece, wouldn't you?
You would indeed. And the nominations are 50 Cent in Setup, Christian Strasser in Apocalypse Please, Logan Marshall Green in Intrusion, Konstantin Georginov in Smart Christmas, and Al Pacino in Hangman. Thoughts?
I'd kind of forgot that Setup was a movie we'd watched until I went back through the stream tables to put these nominations together. And as soon as I saw old 50 Cent's face on that poster, I was like, oh yeah, that was terrible. You were the worst thing in that terrible movie.
It was the worst thing by a long way in that terrible movie. He was awful in that movie.
Like, what sticks in my mind for Setup is it's one of the movies, I think the best example of a movie that we've seen on the show where no one looked like they wanted to be in it.
Yeah. Agreed.
At all. Ryan Felipe looked like his grandma had run over his dog and then his grandma had been hit by a plane or something.
Yeah, it was not good.
Checked out.
Yeah, that film should be called Dialed In because that's what they were all doing for their performances.
And 50 Cent was awful.
Yeah, he was a lot worse than anybody else in it. He was terrible. But then we've got to talk about Christian Strasser in Apocalypse Please.
So in Apocalypse Please, which was barely even a movie, this was like the Austrian end of the world type con artist movie. He was like the businessman who sort of was trying to take advantage of this group of hippies, basically.
This is one of the worst movies we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Some of the worst acting we've ever seen.
And he was
by far the worst in it. He's got to be up there in the conversation for this one.
I think this is a tough category.
I do as well.
Logan Marshall Green in Intrusion. So he was like the husband who ended up being
the bad guy.
The bad guy. He was like keeping girls in the basement, and he was bad in a TV movie.
Yeah, he really was. That was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
That was a terrible, terrible movie.
Yeah,
he was terrible.
Konstantin Georginov was the kid in Smart Christmas. This was tough because I was a bit torn whether to nominate this poor little kid or like head elf.
If we'd have been any bigger, the Razzies would have come for us because the Razzies had to like apologise for nominating a kid, and now we've done it as well. In fact, I think we slagged off the Razzies for nominating a kid.
I think we did,
and now we've done it as well.
Yeah, but that rap was awful. Like they made a kid do that. It wasn't his fault.
So, and then Al Pacino.
Oh well, no. Let me. Sorry, I finished my thought. So it was either nominate that kid, or the head elf. What was he called? Grinder.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah. Something along those lines.
Or Gripper or Grinder. It was something like sexy.
Something like
that. Yeah, he was bad as well. But
really
they shouldn't. Oh, they shouldn't have made that kid do that rap. That was awful. Or Al Pacino.
Al Pacino in Hangman.
Just from the last week.
Last week's movie. Coming for a late shout.
Now, I had such a fun time watching Hangman.
Yeah.
Like, I would seriously say to people, go and watch it if you want to watch a bad movie but have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you would be like...
It's the epitome of terrible movie that's actually quite entertaining.
How has Al Pacino sunk this low?
Yeah. And why is he so bad?
Yeah.
When you're the best actor of all time, or one of, why are you so bad in this movie?
I'm actually not going to pull you up on that sweeping statement because arguably he could be. Yeah.
I don't think that's this controversial thing to say.
No, I don't think it is.
One of the best of all time.
I'd love to know more about how Hangman got made.
Me too. I really would, because I don't understand it.
We're not going to let the kid win, guys. Honestly.
No, as if we're going to let the kid win. We did it to be controversial. Get in the news. We want some clickbait articles about us.
Yeah, so it's not going to be Konstantin Georginov.
No.
It's Strasser or Pacino. It's the question that people have asked.
And that is
since
saying
time
something
began.
when 50 Cent's in there.
Yeah.
Because it should be
50 Cent
any other
bronze.
season he'd have won it. It is Strasser or Pacino. And
I'm planting my flag in Al Pacino, so to speak.
Okay.
Because you know what he's capable of.
I do know what he's capable of. I don't
that
know what
Strasser
Christian
guy
Strasser's capable of.
might
He might not even be an actor.
Yeah,
just
he
be
might never have acted before or since.
Hopefully. Let's hope not. It's got to be Pacino.
And I really
it?
want to give an award to Al Pacino.
It's got to be Pacino.
The worst actor.
The worst actor award is going to Al Pacino.
Worst performance by a human. Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. Shocking. Comes in and snatches it in the last film of the last season.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to have a little break from the awards.
Sure.
We're going to put our first person into the captain's gallery.
Yes. I think before we reveal the first inductee, that this was the toughest choice that we've had, I think. Yeah.
For both of these people that are going in this year. Yeah, I agree. I think it was tough to pick.
Because at first, I think we've got two really good inductees.
Both fully deserve to go in.
But I think it's fair to say, at least this person didn't spring to mind until we sort of went backwards.
Yeah.
And actually realised we've seen him loads.
We've seen him loads of times, and he does. He's been in it more than some of the people who are already in the captain's gallery. He's been on the show more times. So.
In fact, this guy has been in 3 movies.
Yeah.
Since we started doing the show, he was in a movie in season 2.
Yeah. Which
came 8th in that season stream table. He was in a movie in season 7, which came 5th, and he was in a movie in season 8, which came 10th.
Do you think anybody's going to have a guess in the chats before we reveal?
Ever been outside the top 10 in 3 movies? Although in one of them he definitely should be. Any guesses in the chat?
A couple of people are going to have a guess. Ross has got no idea. That's surprising.
Some typing going on. No idea. The guy from Below Zero. Yeah. Sam is thinking of the Spanish chap from
It's not him.
The Invisible Guest and Below Zero.
It's not him. And
Mirage, who has been in this. He has been in this
maybe should be in consideration. Spanish bold guy.
No, it is. Drum roll, please. Brenton Thwaites.
It had to be.
He's
in The Giver. The Giver's a wonderful movie.
Can I just say, Brenton Thwaites has never looked as good in any of those movies as he does in that picture there.
He's a beautiful boy.
a lovely picture of him.
Thank you. I literally Googled his name and that's the first one that came.
Is it?
Yeah.
Office Uprising. Remember that way back from season 2?
Way back.
That was good. I enjoyed that movie. Office Uprising was good. Yeah, Ghosts of War, which we talked about earlier, and The Giver.
Which we've also talked about considerably a lot of times on this show.
Look, to be fair, he was all right in The Giver, considering he was having to take that script around with him on his back.
All right, we don't need to give the Giver any more digs. Considering this guy started in Home and Away, he's done well for himself.
Did he? Was he one of them?
He was a Home and Awayer.
I mean, it's not. It's pretty weird, isn't it? That's like a pipeline to Hollywood.
It works though.
Yeah.
It's always worked. There's loads of people from Home and Away have ended up in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth.
Sure.
Loads. Or Hemsworth. I can't remember which one.
All of them, probably.
Probably all of them. Nice. Congratulations to Brenton Thwaites.
Yeah,
Great name as well.
I think a deserved inductee.
Yes, agreed. Okay, we'll move on to. We've got 4 awards and 1 more Captain's Gallery entrance left. We're doing well. Next category is one of the big ones. Who's reading them out? You are. I am. My turn.
Go for it. I mean,
the next category that we're going to award out is the best performance by a human. And the nominations are Frank Grillo for Wheelman, Gerard Boss for Old People, Carolyn Bracken for You Are Not My Mother, Josh Brolin for The Legacy of a White-tailed Deer Hunter, and Domhnall Gleeson for A Futile and Stupid Gesture.
Okay.
Thoughts?
I think it's tough. I think it is a tough one. And I do like to give. Probably is worth doing a little run through because it's not that often that we go, oh, that had some good acting in it.
Yeah, it's very rare. In fact,
it's quite a treat for us, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to see sometimes.
With that in mind, I mean, these are very different performances. So, I mean, Frank Grillo in Wheelman, that movie took us by surprise. It was a late. Was it even last couple of weeks of season 7?
Yeah,
and ended up winning
went on to win the whole thing.
the stream table. It's maybe not one of the strongest table toppers we've ever had.
No, possibly
over
not.
history of the show.
Yeah.
But it's a really tight, taut, gripping action movie. And it's... I was making fun there. He drives it.
Nice. I like that. That's a good pun. It couldn't have been easy to film that film either. It must have been quite difficult, quite claustrophobic.
It's him on the phone for 75% of that movie.
Just sitting in a car on a phone. But
and I think generally he is quite an underrated actor, and that is a good performance. And he is a human, so he qualifies.
He does qualify. That is true.
Gerhard the Boss in Old People.
He was the main...
He was Vomit Boy.
Vomit Boy.
Yeah.
The main old person in Old People.
Yeah. Just imposing.
I still
creepy,
have nightmares about that guy now. He's
lank hair.
Scary, horrible old
When
man.
he takes that sock off.
Ugh. These
He's
horrible
got a
feet.
minging toe jam and
Ugh.
just good, great movie villain. Horror movie villain.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It sticks in your mind. You never forget him.
And
once you've seen him.
no other award shows will go, oh, he did good acting as a horror movie villain.
No, never. Doesn't happen.
So he's a good nomination.
Absolutely.
Talking of which, Carolyn Bracken, a horror movie, You Are Not My Mother. Look, you hated this movie.
I didn't hate this movie.
But you got to admit, that was a great performance.
It was a great performance. Yeah, she was really good in it.
She was the mother who wasn't a mother. Yeah, I'm not going to pipe on about that movie anymore. But
Good.
Great performance.
Absolutely.
Josh Brolin in Legacy of White-tailed Deer
Easy
Hunter.
for you to say.
That movie was...
I enjoyed that movie a lot.
Yeah.
It's a good fun time.
It's Josh Brolin. You'd expect it to be good, and he was good.
Yeah.
It's not like Al Pacino turning up in Hangman,
Yeah,
who
exactly.
you'd also expect to be good.
You'd expect Al Pacino to be good in anything, and he isn't. And then Domhnall Gleeson in A Futile and Stupid Gesture.
Now, this is interesting.
It is.
Because both of us,
Yep.
which we didn't realise until we came to record the episode, didn't realise it was Domhnall Gleeson.
I'm not sure. I'm convinced it was now.
Now, does that mean it was an awesome performance?
Yeah, I think so. It must do.
He was very good in that movie.
He is very good in that movie. It's a really good movie, and he's really good in it. And the fact that neither of us knew that he was even in it, it's got to say something good, surely. What's your immediate thought?
I'm really torn on two. I've got two.
I've got two too.
Okay.
I'm wearing it under the desk. My two are Frank Grillo
Yeah.
and Carolyn Bracken.
They're my two.
No way. Really? I
Yeah.
would give it to Domhnall Gleeson, but the fact... I don't know, I thought it was a really good performance, but I think those two... As much as I hate You Are Not My Mother, I thought she was fantastic in that film. Again, really terrifying representation of a horror villain.
Yeah.
And Grillo's just brilliant in Wheelman, and it couldn't have been an easy movie to make.
Yeah. It's a toss of a coin for me.
So toss it.
I haven't got one. I don't have a coin.
Oh, not me.
I haven't got money.
It's not the
I don't
90s.
carry real money. Okay. I'm tempted to go Carolyn Bracken in that case.
Let's do it. I'm happy with that.
That's
thoroughly fine. Absolutely fine.
We didn't really mention it in the most memorable moment. That when she just snaps that ankle when she's like dancing.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
when
living
she's
room.
when she's just dancing around and her ankle just goes.
Yeah.
Blech. Rank.
It's done. Carolyn Bracken.
Congratulations, Carolyn Bracken. Best performance
best
by a
performance
human.
by a human. Ironically, not playing a human.
Also true. Right, what's the next one? We're flying through these now.
Definitely going to be another hard fought one. The Drowning in the Stream Award. I think. Now, we've had some good winners of this in previous years, but I think this might be the most tightly contested version of this award we've ever had.
Agreed.
Lauren Bacall was in All at Sea.
She was.
Sir Ben Kingsley in Robot Overlords. Linda Hamilton in Hard Times. Elliot Gould in Dangerous Lies. And Al Pacino in Hangman.
Wow. That's some big movie stars.
Yeah, I don't really know how that's happened.
No.
To be honest.
Nor me.
Why was Ben Kingsley in Robot Overlords?
Oh, you could ask me that every day until the day I die, and I will never be able to answer that question.
And he was bad as well.
Yeah, he was really bad.
I don't think we went in too hard on him. at the time, but he was doing some sort of Yorkshire accent. I mean, everyone was bad in that movie. It's a terrible movie. It's a boring movie. But he was out acted by some kids.
Yeah, he really was.
And Linda Hamilton was just a total WTF. What the fuck have you turned up for? In that Irish...
so weird. It was like,
Viagra movie.
Yeah, basically a Channel 5 movie, or it should have been.
Playing Sarah Connor, essentially.
Essentially.
Yeah. Tracking down those Irish hoodlums.
It makes absolutely no sense at all.
Elliot Gould. Dangerous Lies, but I feel like
that film,
I'm not surprised he'd show up in something like that.
No, that film put out a casting call for an old man, and Elliot Gould answered the call.
Be sure.
I'm not as surprised that he's in that than I am with some of these others.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But why is he in it?
Yeah, a worthy nomination, but I don't think he's a winner.
No,
I don't think he's in the chase for this. Al Pacino. I mean, what more can we say?
We can't really say. Have we mentioned Lauren Bacall?
I've done this in a...
Oh, you've done it in a strange order.
Totally random order. And Lauren Bacall. I mean, actual Hollywood royalty. Golden age Hollywood superstar.
Yes.
Remember All at Sea?
I do remember All at Sea.
It was a Norwegian fishing heist movie.
Yeah.
No one was Norwegian.
No. I'm not even sure it was set in Norway.
It was.
It just didn't feel like it was. It was Brian Cox, wasn't
Brian Cox, Edward Fox.
And Lauren Bacall. One of the most famous women of all times. It's a really tough one.
I'm knocking out Gould and Hamilton.
Yes, same.
Hamilton had the surprise factor for her, but she's not done much, has she, over the years, let's be honest.
I think this is controversial.
Okay.
I think I'm going to knock out Al Pacino as well.
Me too.
Because big Hollywood stars make small movies sometimes. And
I don't want to give him 2 awards either.
And I don't really want to give him 2 awards. But there are, as proven here, there are movies out there that star big stars who sometimes they're just helping out people that they know, or
exactly.
He might be friends with the director. You never know. He's the biggest star on that list, but it happens. I think Lauren Bacall being All at Sea is the weirdest one on there.
I 100% agree. When my gob was smacked
completely, absolutely. Or any one of them could win.
It's
that.
like total. It was a total like non-movie. And I seem to remember. I have to go back to the episode to refresh my memory. That it was on the. It got made, run out of finance.
Yeah.
Changed production companies.
Yeah, it was all over the place.
And it ended up on its like 3rd production company to get finished and produced and released.
But through all of that, Lauren Bacall stays on board.
Oh, well, yeah, and it had all those other stars in it as well.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very good. And yeah, I think Lauren Bacall.
I agree.
Drowning in the Stream.
I agree. It could easily have been Ben Kingsley, but
All at Sea. So
yeah, it's just a crazy movie. It's a crazy fact that Lauren Bacall is in that movie. Congratulations to Lauren Bacall. Right, we've got 3 left. We've got the big 2 and 1 more Captain's Gallery. So this is one of the biggest awards we give out on this show.
Yeah.
This is...
I'd say it's the 2nd biggest.
I agree. This is why it's the 2nd last.
Okay. Oh, there's logic. God. My bow tie is getting tight.
You said we weren't even going to mention the fact that you're wearing a bow tie, and we've made it for quite a long time.
Someone mentioned it earlier in the chat.
But yeah, you're wearing a bow tie on a t-shirt. I like it. It reminds me of that time Frank Butcher turned up at the door.
I think that was mentioned.
In EastEnders. The next award that we're giving out is what we call the biggest waste of time. The movie that has wasted our time the most.
So this isn't, if you remember, not necessarily the worst movie,
no.
Although it could be.
And this year probably will be. But it's actually, why have we just spent 2 hours watching this film?
And another potentially hour and a half of talking about it.
And then we're going to talk about them again.
Sometimes the worst movie makes the best episodes, but waste of time is just that, yeah, what the hell have we done there? What was the point in that?
Agreed. So the nominations are Apocalypse Please, 8 Remains, The CEO, Smart Christmas, and Needle in a Time Stack. All massive wastes of time. Sam's quite surprised there that another round hasn't been nominated. Let's talk through them in order. Apocalypse Please. This isn't even a film.
It didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense. It's like somebody just hoovered up some film reel and stuck them all together. It's a terrible. It's not even a movie. You can't even call it a movie.
But it is as bottom of the stream as anything could be.
Yeah.
And in a way that's like... it's exactly the sort... I love it when we get that sort of movie. But I like to try and... I do generally try and be positive.
Yes. I think we both do.
But this didn't have anything going for it. It was boring. It didn't make sense.
It was just sliced up in the wrong order. It was a mess. And it's on... Why is it on Netflix? It doesn't even have a poster or a trailer.
No, that's true.
It doesn't exist outside of this one little hour and a half on Netflix.
This was the movie where a load of survivalists would like trying to train and then create a survivalist den, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then some businessman came and tried to exploit them for all their money, and people ended up dying. And there was some weird. He copped off with one of their sisters or something.
When I was going to advertise the fact that we'd done an episode on this film, I thought I was going to have to make a poster for the movie.
Oh, really? Yeah.
There's literally one image online of the movie, and so we just use that as the poster. It's insane. It's the fact that it exists and it's on Netflix is insane. 8 remains.
I think I was that a German haunted house movie,
so.
And that wasn't a whole thing set as the girl was being murdered.
Yeah, it was all set in like a blink of an eye.
Yeah, and she had to go and try and tell her past self not to shack up with that weird wizardy guy.
Yeah,
and yeah, it was boring again.
It really, really, really was. It was one of the most boring films we've ever seen. I think it was right up there. The CEO, talking of boring, business chat.
I thought it was good. Not good. I thought it was a decent idea that you could have made an interesting movie, but all the deaths were off screen.
Yeah.
All the characters were boring, and I didn't care for any of them.
Most of the time, it was just people talking about business practices.
And there was a lot of people just talking about KPIs.
Yeah. For
in it.
ages.
Yeah.
It was dull.
And
dull
it was set at this nice like beachside resort.
Yeah.
And it all had a grey filter on it.
Yeah, it was. It was like a weird colour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Strange.
And it was a waste of time.
It was the biggest waste of time. Smart Christmas was our Christmas movie for these 2 seasons.
I mean,
Bulgarian.
Bulgarian. Was it because it's so far away from us culturally and linguistically? Are we being harsh on it? It was just a TV Bulgarian musical. What were we expecting?
When you put it like that, that is true. But it's also really bad.
It's not much fun, is it?
No, it wasn't a lot of fun. It finished bottom of the stream table.
I just remembered that in it for 20 minutes, Santa does a fitness video.
He does, yeah. With like a
you like watching
assistant.
Santa doing a hits class.
Yeah, because he's trying to lose some weight.
Yeah. You don't need to body shame Santa. It's kind of his thing.
It's just really, really, really poor movie. And then Needle in a Time Stack.
Oh, it was really boring.
It's a terrible movie. That's possibly the worst crime that Needle in a Time Stack has. Is it's a really good premise done really badly. It could have been a great movie, whereas the rest of these had no chance from the start. This could have been a really good film.
Even if it was bad,
yeah,
you could have a bad but flawed time travel movie. Remember when we watched that time travel movie starring Sophie Turner and the chap from Sex Education?
Asa Butterfield.
Yes, and it was rough,
right?
But at least it was.
I do know the one you mean.
It kind of had a few things going for it, and it was quite plot holey. But Needle in a Time Stack, I think, is
Time Freak.
Time Freak, yes. I think Needle in a Time Stack is probably the biggest missed opportunity.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it could have been a great movie, but
because
it
looks nice. Good. It was a proper movie. It was shot well. It looks. You could tell it had money. But it was really boring.
Yeah,
really it took me ages to watch it as well.
So what wins? I think we discount Apocalypse Please because it isn't really even a film. And I'd like to also discount Smart Christmas for the reasons that you gave, that it's so far out of our cultural lexicon.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So for me, it's between 8 Remains the CEO and Needle in a Time Stack.
Okay.
Hit one. Give me one.
It's Needle in a Time
It
Stack
is
for
Needle
me.
in a Time Stack, I think. It could easily be 8 Remains because I still don't think I really got what was going on in it. And it's just such a weird movie that if I was even slightly interested, I probably would have tried to figure it out. But I wasn't, so I didn't.
But 8 Remains was clearly filmed on a potato with 10 Deutschmarks.
Yeah.
And Needle in a Time Stack was a proper Hollywood movie.
Yes.
That's really, really boring.
Really, really boring. I think it has to go to Needle.
Yeah.
Because it's for all of those reasons we've just said. I think it has to.
Excellent.
Right, one more award, one more Captain's Gallery entrant. Let's do the Captain's Gallery entrant next, shall we?
Let's do it.
This one I wouldn't say it was an easy choice, but as soon as this name came into my head, I think it had to go there.
Yeah.
I think
It's a great choice.
We've done a couple. This isn't an actor. This is the first non-actor that's going.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
No, we've had Mason Blair.
He's an actor
And a writer. And a director.
Okay. Consider me told.
That's fine.
It has to go to this guy. I'm just going to put it on the screen now. It has to go to Andrew Jones because he directed Wells of the Third Reich and Theatre of Fear, which are two of the worst movies we've ever done. But
they are delightfully bad, though. They're fucking terrible.
They are.
But you kind of know he'd agree.
Yes, he would. And unfortunately, you can't because this is the first posthumous entry to go into the Captain's Gallery.
Yes, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, Andrew Jones is no longer with us. He died earlier this year. We've also watched 5 of his movies in the Discord watch-alongs.
Yeah.
So we've watched 7 Andrew Jones movies. No other directors are even close to that. I think it was a shoot. I don't think it could have been anybody else. I think it's the right choice, and I feel honoured to be able to put him in there.
Yeah. It's a great choice. It's a great choice, and I'm sure we will go back for more.
100%. 100%. Pretty much all of his movies are on Netflix. I think there's about 3 more on the long list.
There is,
so we're going to get to them at some point.
And they are great watch-along material.
They are.
And we've had a lot of fun. And I'm sure
we've watched all 5 Robert movies in the watch-along.
we will get through all of his back catalogue. It's going to happen.
There's one that you would say maybe is half decent, but the other 4 are bad, like proper bad. But he knew what he was doing, and he was making films that he was passionate about. And what more can you say? That's what filmmaking's all about.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes. Well done. Welcome aboard.
Right. We said we'd last about an hour and 5 minutes into the record. We've got one award left to give out, and it is, obviously, Shiniest Gem.
Oh, I'm excited.
You ready to read out the nominations?
Sure.
The nominations for Shiniest Gem 2023 are Old People,
A Futile and Stupid Gesture,
The Decline,
Last Man Down,
Wheelman,
and Summit of the Gods.
6 wonderful movies, 3 from each season.
Yes.
Not necessarily the top 3 in the season.
No, they're not.
They're not. Two of those movies came 4th.
But again, Shiniest Gem doesn't necessarily have to mean the best, because also we like to take into account what surprised us the most. It might be that Summit of the Gods is in there. It looks beautiful.
Beautiful looking movie.
Whereas it might not have finished top of the stream, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And, probably the best looking movie we've ever seen. And that's why it's in here. So, yeah, again, another really, really tough category, I think.
Yeah, it's really tough. They're 6 wonderful movies. And it's going to be a really tough one to pick, this. It really is. So let's start. We might as well start with Wheelman. Let's talk about Wheelman. Winner of season 7.
Yeah.
One of the last episodes of the season came in and snatched it.
Again, I just think for a pure fun Saturday night, you want to be entertained movie.
Yeah.
It ticks all the boxes.
It does. It's the epitome of a Saturday night pizza and a Magnum
It's
movie.
not particularly original or clever, but it's slick, and it's just a really good movie.
But it's got a nice gimmick, and that probably is original and clever. But yeah, it's got a real chance for me. Summit of the Gods.
Oh, I've said it. It's one of the most beautiful looking movies. Possibly the most beautiful.
Yeah, one of the most beautiful animated movies I've ever seen. I think. There was
And
Ross Cook's
it's a
wild
great
card in
story.
season 7.
Yeah.
Came third, I think. Great story. It's about some climbers who climb up Everest. Really good film. The Decline.
This season's winner, The Decline, and I think it's here because it surprised us. It took some narrative turns we weren't expecting. As we say, when Antoine was shot dead.
Yeah. Didn't see that coming.
When Francois exploded, it's just, again, it's a good thriller, and we liked it a lot.
We did like it a lot, and it stayed at the top for ages and fought off lots of competent films that could have beat it, including Old People.
Yeah.
Which came second this year.
It's just a great horror film.
Really good little horror
and old
film.
People are creepy.
Completely unique concept. Old people are really creepy, especially those old people. What more do you want from your horror movies?
Yeah, it's great.
A Futile and Stupid Gesture.
Oh man, this was one of the nicest surprises of the last 2 seasons.
I must admit, this surprised me. I didn't expect this to be as entertaining as it is.
I
didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
No, same. It wasn't what I expected, and I think if you're willing to go with the joke, you'll have a great time with this movie.
Yeah.
I think I said in the episode, it really surprised me doing some reading afterwards that there was a lot of reviews where critics were saying, "Oh, it's all made up. It's not true. They say it's not true," and I'm like, "That's the joke.
Yeah, that's the whole point."
I just thought it was absolutely fascinating. I loved the fact that the casting was shit on purpose.
Yeah.
And they called it out in the movie. Like I say, I was in on the joke and I was, just...
Went along with it.
Yeah, really loved it.
And then finally, Last Man Down, which was the Daniel Stuyvesant movie that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, just hench, good-looking man
being
kills mercenaries in the woods.
Basically just killing off generic ninjas. Really good film all the way through. Fun action movie.
You can just sit back and have a great time.
Yeah.
This is tough. I mean, I've crossed 3 out.
Okay, interesting.
So I've got 3 not crossed out. So I guess it's one of them for me.
Okay, which 3 have you crossed out?
I've crossed off The Decline.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I've crossed off Old People.
Okay.
And I've crossed off Last Man Down.
Right. So you're leaving me with Wheelman, Summit of the Gods, and A Futile and Stupid Gesture.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I would have liked to have given a bit more love to Last Man Down. I thought it was a really good movie. A lot of fun. I think you're right that it can't be The Decline or Old People. The one I want to win is still on your list.
Okay, fine. Ross Cook, just as by way of a little side note, is saying regarding Last Man Down, wood versus steel, absolute nonsense. I agree. It was absolutely absolute nonsense.
I'd forgotten about that.
But it was fun. Wheelman, Summit of the Gods, or A Futile and Stupid Gesture. Really tricky. I think. Okay, so my I've got a gut answer.
Do you want to say them at the same time?
Okay.
Do you want to?
Yeah, fine.
3, 2, 1.
A Futile and Stupid Gesture.
Okay, so that's narrowed it down to 2 at least.
I mean, they would be my top. They would be my top 2.
It is between those 2 movies, I think. As much as Summit of the Gods is a beautiful movie, those 2.
I expected it to be good when Ross chose it.
Yeah.
Because Ross has got a pretty good record of choosing wild cards, and I'd seen the trailer for that movie before, like months before it was chosen, and I knew it was going to be great, and it was great. Okay, so we're down to 2: Wheelman or A Futile and Stupid Gesture. 1 from each season. That's nice. I like that synchronicity of it. Do you want to go with the one that felt the most surprising, which for me was A Futile and Stupid Gesture, but it's a bit more all over the place? Yeah. It's got a few more peaks and troughs, but it's just a bit out there. Wheelman. Great movie. It's a really tough call. Yeah. What's your gut telling you? Wheelman. So my gut's telling me that, as we always do, as we come across these battles, which one would you watch again? That's what I'm going to look at. Out of those 2, to be honest with you, I think I'd watch A Futile and Stupid Gesture again. I mean, I think I said on the episode I could see me putting it in a kind of like a rotation. If I need a movie to,
Yeah, you did.
Be it in the background or
It came 4th this season.
yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that the shiniest gem has been won by
absolutely
something in that sort of realm of the stream table. Though
No, it absolutely wouldn't.
it's surprise versus slickness. I don't know. I think it's really tricky.
Yeah, it is. It's really tough. It's a tough one to give away.
And I'm glad that we've come down to those two. To be honest.
Yeah, me too. I think it is between those two. How do we pick? I think, like I just said, if I'm going to watch one again, I'm going to watch A Few Childish Stupid Gestures.
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shiniest gem.
Shiniest Gem Award. Congratulations to Doug Kenny and the people of A Few Childish Stupid Gesture.
Excellent.
Excellent. That's another Botscars in the bag.
Oh, that was great fun.
Hope everybody
and the camera's
enjoyed it.
still working.
The camera's still is carried on working now for a while, which is good. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope everybody agrees or is prepared to argue with us for the reasons why they didn't.
Yeah, thanks for everyone who joins us in the Discord. If you're listening on the podcast, well, again, thanks for all your support this season and, well, always. Because
absolutely.
We're just having fun.
But yeah, that's all we do it for. It's good fun. We like the people that listen. Well, we love the people that listen. And I love you.
Oh, thanks. Love you too.
Rude. Yeah, so that's the end of the episode. We'll stick around in the Discord for a little while if anybody wants to have a chat. But yeah, we'll say goodbye from the Botscars 2023.
Cheers.
Bye.